Howdy, hi, hey. Marketing and Digital Media Manager at the NAA, Taven Wohlford here with another talk with the President. I'm joined by President Morgan Hopson, CAI, and we've got a good one this month. Morgan, how you doing, though?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, I'm doing great. We're coming off the heels of a packed digital marketing summit. The marketing competition judges are officially buried in incredible submissions, and we just wrapped up a productive board meeting with some exciting strategic conversations. But let's start with the Digital Marketing Summit. So Kansas City showed up. Energy was high, and I don't think anyone left without at least, one new idea that they're putting to work. I saw John Genovese applying new things in real time at DMS. What stood out to you most about this year's summit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had an amazing digital marketing summit. It was completely sold out, Tavin. We had to turn people away, unfortunately, which we hate to do, but
Mm.
I think we had over 90 attendees there. We had over 40 people in the pre-con little workshop that we did prior to DMS. And so it was just really exciting, a lot of great energy around DMS. And again, I think if you didn't take something, home with you, one piece of advice, that's on you. That's your own fault because there were
Sure.
some really amazing things happening. I think something that I'm seeing is just how quickly that, and we know this as marketers, right? You and I are both in the marketing space. I think as marketers, we see it changing almost daily, in the advancement of marketing
Mhm.
through AI and through different tools that we're able to use. And we've got to be able to think differently. And I think, being able to ask AI Socratic questions and that have conversations with it and then implement that. And then the different tools that we're just able to build out so much more with what is being offered to us right now. So we were able to see some different tools, to your point, that we could immediately put into action
Mhm.
and in turn be way more productive for our businesses and companies because we're able to use those immediately and get immediate results from those. So in addition to long-term planning, we're able to see some immediate results as well.
Yeah, yeah. There's always great content at DMS, but what did you feel in the room this year? Any themes or shifts you noticed in how auction professionals are thinking about marketing?
Yeah, I think just asking really in-depth questions. So I noticed that with a lot of our presenters that the attendees were asking questions that were really in-depth. It wasn't just surface
Mm,
level, like they weren't understanding the material. It was almost like they're understanding the material and then asking a tier three, four level question that's like
sure.
really advanced. And so I thought that was really neat to see. We had a lot of team members in the room, which sometimes we get at our events, we're seeing a lot of auction owners or auctioneers that are attending. And I just think DMS is really cool because we're not only engaging, owners of companies, we're engaging their entire team. And so we had a lot of team members at this event, which I think is awesome because they're the ones that are making the wheels turn behind the scenes, right? And so to get in their minds a little bit and learn from some of those marketers, I think we always pick something up. But I think for me, it was just seeing the in-depth questions and then how different companies are using these marketing tools and different practices. And then, to your point, just seeing them in the room, be able to put them into practice for their
Yeah.
companies and get immediate results from that. That was really neat. I know I talked to three or four people there that had already implemented things back home. Right.
Hmm.
They're like, hey, we're going to take this and use it, or they're creating a new program or tool that they're going to use at home. And I think that all came from, just big thinking at Digital Marketing Summit and be able to engage with other auction professionals that maybe have experienced or are experiencing some of the same things they are back home. And so just
Yeah.
to be able to capitalize on the time together and really put new practices in play that can advance the industry for us all. I think that was exciting.
I feel like every year the bar keeps getting raised, which is
Absolutely.
exciting and slightly intimidating at the same time. But as
Yes,
long as you're staying in front of it, it's great. Speaking of
absolutely.
raising the bar, marketing competition submissions have officially closed, and from what I've seen, the judges are going to have their hands full. What does it say about our membership when we continue to see this level of creativity and professionalism that they're showing in these submissions?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows like the NAA is full of high quality professional auctioneers that really do their best to put their clients' best foot forward, right? Whether
Mm,
that's through digital campaigns, through videos, through self promotion for the auction industry of their companies. We're constantly seeing the bar rise
Right.
to your point, right? Even if it's done in-house, I know a few companies have in-house videography, and just really we had some at DMS actually, people that are graphic designers that work in-house for auction companies. And so I think really it serves for the betterment of the auction industry when we have really
Hmm.
clean professional pieces that are put out to market whatever asset they may be marketing, whether it's equipment, real estate, personal property. When we see that level, it just makes everyone else want to be better as well.
Yeah.
And I think we're constantly getting that. And I think you could even see through last year's winners, people were like, oh, well, now I want to win. And the marketing competitions become a really big thing at Conference and Show every year. And it's gotten its own stage now. We do our marketing awards at a dedicated time. And so it's just really neat to be able to showcase the auction industry and what we're doing to advance the industry. I think it just makes all ships rise, right? Like we're always
Hmm.
bettering one another when we see that level of professionalism put out through the marketing competition. It's just really exciting to see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. So you brought up a conference show. Why is it important that we celebrate marketing excellence the way that we do? What does that do for the industry as a whole?
I think, to my point earlier, I think it just continues to advance the auction industry. It shows people that, we're not a last resort. This is a true way of marketing, and the auction method of marketing and the auction method of selling is a phenomenal way to market your asset. Again, whether doesn't matter the community of practice. We have high level marketers within our business, and I think
Hmm.
it just continues to show the level of professionalism, but also the exciting way that we market, and then that we're able to prove results. In the marketing competition, one of the things is campaign of the year, and in that
Hmm.
campaign of the year, they're not only showing their marketing for beauty, if you will, they're
Sure.
they're having to show their results too, and what their digital campaigns did, and the statistics from their entire marketing campaign. And I think when you see those results, you really realize how effective the marketing method of selling can be, because you see the impressions and you see the amount of people and the traffic that's being driven to those pages. And it's really just truly incredible. And I think when we celebrate that at Conference and Show, maybe people that are newer in the industry or some people that have maybe been stuck in their ways for a long time,
Hmm.
they're able to see the effectiveness of new plans or different types of marketing. And so I think for us to be able to celebrate that as an industry and just really take time to look at those pieces of marketing and what our other cohorts are doing across the country,
Hmm.
just really special for us to be able to do that.
Yeah, I do not envy our judges from the American Marketing
Oh,
Association. They
I
got
don't
a
either.
lot of tough decisions coming their way, but good on them. Now
For sure.
shifting to last week's board meeting. I know there were some important conversations happening. Can you give members a snapshot of what was discussed? Anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were just in Kansas City. It was funny, we were in Kansas City the week prior for Digital
Hmm.
Marketing Summit,
Hmm.
and then a handful of us came back this past week for the board meeting. So nice to be in Kansas City with you guys. We had a lot of phenomenal conversations. I think we had a really productive board meeting that lasted over a day and a half, really, of actual work in the boardroom. And we were talking through strategic partnerships and partnerships in general, initiatives, strategic initiatives that we're going to carry out over the next 3 years. And really, those strategic initiatives, what actions we're going to take in the next 6 to 9 months. So you can imagine some of those conversations live around next gen, some of those conversations live around live members and cohorts and things that we can really do to move the needle for our industry and for our membership. And we're always looking at how do we increase member benefits, or are there programs that we need to sunset or improve on, to really benefit our members and make sure that they're getting a quality product that we're putting out, whether that's through education or whether it's through member benefits that we already offer. Just want our members to know that we're constantly looking at those programs to make sure that they're getting the most out of all of them, that they're getting the best communication, that they're getting the best education, and really creating intentional community around all of those events and programs that are taking place.
One thing that stood out to me last week and in this list of what you just told us was the focus on strategic partnerships, including our newest partnership with Land Broker Co-op. What excites you about partnerships like this, and how do they strengthen the value NAA brings to members?
Yeah, I think again, for the board, for NAA, when we look at strategic partnerships, we're really trying to look at member benefits and what can strategically be a great partnership for the NAA, but really it is making sure that our members are getting the most out of these programs that we're joining. So you mentioned land broker co-op, and for that, our members and what we've worked out with land broker co-op is they're going to get a full year of free national exposure for every auction. So that means they can go in, they can create an account, they don't have any listing fees or any fees associated with that, it's just exposure on Broker MLS. And so that platform brings in serious buyers, and then our members can use that as exposure for their auctions. What Land Broker MLS today, if you want to opt in to their full membership or their full premium tools, all the kits that they have, they are offering for NAA members just to pay $330 for the first year. That's it.
Mm.
Not for nothing, that's $800 off of what their normal membership is for their full membership packet. So if you just want to do auctions, that's great. You can get that for free for a full year. But if you want to take advantage of their full network and all their tools, you can do that for $330, $800 off, which is amazing. And not for nothing, that's double what an NAA membership costs almost. So we're really, if you're in the farm and ranch or real estate auction business, I think this is something that you should really look at, take a look at. Just take advantage of this partnership that we create. But I'm really trying to strengthen these partnerships. We have a partnership with St. Jude as well. That's a strategic partnership, and
Hmm.
we've re-upped that. So, we've since 1995, I think we've raised over $5 million for St. Jude Children's Hospital, and so just having these partnerships are really impactful and meaningful for our members. Just to be able to capitalize on membership benefits, but that we're able to provide something to you as well as our members that you can utilize and better your business for.
Yeah, when you zoom out, it's pretty exciting. Strong events,
It
incredible
really
member
is.
talent, strategic planning at the leadership level. There's a lot of momentum happening right now. Um,
Absolutely.
and you know what? I got a challenge for anyone and everyone listening. Take one thing, just one, from everything we've talked about today and put it into action this week, whether that's marketing that you're trying to like elevate, whether that's strategic partnerships that we have that you can now utilize, try a new marketing idea, explore a new partnership benefit, reach out to someone you met at Summit, whatever it is. Because momentum
Absolutely.
momentum doesn't happen by accident. It happens because professionals like you, Morgan, keep showing up and leveling up.
Yeah, that's it. And I think too, I've said it so many times, but there's so much great energy happening right now within our industry and within our
Hmm.
association. And I think if you are someone who's sitting on the sidelines and you're like, I don't know if that's for me, just take a step forward, get involved. To Tavin's point, like do one thing this week that helps you take that step forward. We had just our cornerstone applications closed yesterday, our board applications closed yesterday. We have a handful of people in every that have applied to every single cornerstone. We have some great board candidates. And so that to me, Tavin, too, is really exciting to know that we need all the voices at the table. We don't need just one specific kind of member. I mean, it
Yeah.
takes us all. I can't do this by myself. Our committee can't do it by herself. The board can't do it by itself. We need every single member, and we need your voices, and we want to hear them, right? We want to hear feedback from our members, and because that's why we do what we do, right? It's to serve our
Hmm.
members and to
Hmm.
serve our association and the industry that we're in. And so if you're sitting on the sidelines and you have something to say, like please pick up the phone, give me a call. Like I would love to hear it, right? We want our members to be invested in what we're doing, and we can't do this by ourselves. We all have to row the boat together.
Yeah. Yeah. As we're here in March and as we're talking about momentum, it feels wrong of me not to bring up CAI. Celebrating 50 years this year, this
Yeah.
designation has stood the test of time. Why do you think that is?
It really has. 50 years is a big deal. We celebrate 50 years of CAI this year, and that's absolutely incredible for a program of to survive this length and to have as much just a camaraderie around it, I think is absolutely amazing. We're offering next this year, which we haven't done in quite a few years. So if you hold your CAI designation, you can come back, join us. We have education sessions for you. I believe it's April 1st through the 3rd.
Hmm.
Tavin, correct me if I'm wrong. but a Wednesday through a Friday for that. If you want to come in a little early, you can join us for the class two auction as well. That'll be really fun. So we're just excited to have that. We have done a lot of work on CAI over the last couple of years and restructured it a little bit. We talk about CAI being, the master's program of the auction industry and it really being high level education. And I think for a program to stick around for 50 years really shows how much thought, intentionality have gone into this program back to when it was AMI and run by AMI, and then transitioned over to NAA. I think just, so much work and so much passion has gone into this program, and really excited for class one to come in and get to experience what CAI is, but also for everyone to come back for next and just to be able to have that community and still receive some high level quality education
Mm-hmm.
for next. It's going to be really exciting. So if you haven't signed up for next and you hold your CAI designation, highly encourage you to join us. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited what that committee's put together as far as the lineup for education. More than that, just really, really excited to network with everyone again.
Do you remember what it felt like before you had your CAI designation?
I do actually. And that was a huge turning point for me in my career. I came into the industry. I'm a first generation auctioneer. Craig Buford has been an NAA member for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and he and I had the opportunity to work together. But really, I didn't know anyone outside of our company when I came into the industry. And so I remember going to my first NAA conference and show. It was in Indianapolis, and I didn't know anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember it felt really intimidating walking into a room of professionals, and knowing no one. So you walk in, imagine walking in on gala night and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know anyone in this room. Where do I sit?
Yeah.
Every seat feels like taken, right? And it's not that people weren't welcoming. They absolutely 100% were. But I think I was a early 20s at that point and
Mm-hmm.
didn't know anyone, that's hard to just step into a room full of professionals in an industry you're not familiar with.
Of
And
course.
so, fast forward a year or two, and Craig had said, "Hey, I think, I think you'd benefit from going to CAI." And at that point, I really didn't even know what the designation was. And so I did some research and looked at it, ended up applying for CAI, went through CAI, and I cannot tell you just the difference in the network that I had, the community that
Oh
I
yeah.
had. Mike Fisher and I actually were in the same CAI class. And so fun that we serve on the EC
Yeah,
together now, but
awesome.
we were in this class. I met Corky Hurd, who was from Oklahoma, that now we're both part of the United Country framework. But at the time, we both owned our companies outside of the franchise. So we didn't
Mm-hmm.
know one another. And Corky really gave me a lot of time on the mic early on in my career. But I don't know that I would have met Corky had it not been for
Of course.
CAI or
Yeah.
met him on the same level, right? That we were able to
Yeah.
spend a lot of time together and get to know one another. And now just really great friends with his daughter and his family are like family to me. And so I think to my point, walking back into conference and show after that first year, even at CAI, I felt like I knew everyone,
Mm-hmm.
which is untrue, but I knew my class really well and I knew the other two classes that were at CAI. And I think that network only continues to grow as you go into CAI 2 and then you have class 1 that you get to know really
Yeah.
well and you've
Yeah.
already started building relationships with then now class 3. And so it's just fun how that network continues to grow, and then things like CAI Next, you get to form partnerships and friendships with people that also hold that designation. So your community grows exponentially. And for me, like I said, that was really a turning point for me in my career that I, came in not knowing, felt like anyone, went to CAI, and then I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I had this whole family of people around me. And so it's just really remarkable how that changed the trajectory of my experience as a member within NAA. And I've built partnerships and gotten referrals and sent referrals just because of that CAI network. So it's absolutely amazing, and just would encourage anyone that's thinking about going, really, really, truly consider going to CAI because it will change your career and your experience within the NAA and as a member. I believe that wholeheartedly.
It feels like the right thing for me that it's a college campus that
Yeah,
all
absolutely. I
this
think you
community can happen
I
on.
think you get some of that experience and community in and outside of the classroom. We say some of the best
Yeah.
um, best things you learn are in those hallways, right? And I think that's the
Mhm.
same on a college campus. The best things you learn sometimes are outside of the classroom. And not that we don't have high quality education, we absolutely do. And I'm going to have the privilege to teach a couple classes while at CAI this year, but it's really incredible the networking that happens there and the community that comes from it.
What are you teaching on at CA?
I'm teaching class one proposals, and
Cool.
then later in the week, teaching a business development class.
Okay, sick.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's all I have for you this month, Morgan. Thank you, as always, for joining and for leading this association. I hope you have a great rest of your
absolutely.
March.
Yeah, I hope you have a great time too. Thanks, Tavin.